William Morrow and HarperAudio present Warrior, Princess, Assassin, a novel by Brigid Kemmerer, performed by Teddy Hamilton, Abigail Reno, and Aaron Shedlock. A note before we begin. For a map and the author's acknowledgments, don't forget to download the accompanying enhancement PDF from your audiobook provider. For anyone who's ever felt lost and alone and found sanctuary in the pages of a book, this story is for you. A note from the author. Warrior, Princess, Assassin is a romantic fantasy written for adult readers. Within the story, readers will find mature language, violent imagery, and explicit romance. Additionally, situations involving past trauma and abuse, including sexual abuse, are mentioned, alongside themes of faith, trust, survival, and hope. Please read with care. Chapter 1. The Princess. The bells stopped tolling hours ago, so it must be near midnight. It's certainly dark enough. Cold, too, especially in my chambers. My breath makes a thin cloud every time I exhale, and I inwardly curse my father's decree that any flame in the kingdom needed to be doused at sunset. It's impossible to escape the bone-deep chill that settled over the palace. This is surely the worst time for a dress fitting, especially for a wedding gown I have no intention of wearing. A pin jabs into my shoulder, and I make a tiny sound, but I try to keep still. The seamstress notices anyway. "Forgive me, Your Highness," she says, blowing on her hands in an attempt to warm them. She's middle-aged, with a round figure and graying dark hair that's wrapped in a braid. I can barely feel my fingers. She's one of my dressmaker's assistants, but I don't know her name. Normally, her mistress would be here to supervise, but this is my 5th fitting of this wedding gown, and I'm certain the prim and delicate Mistress Ravel considered the cold and the dark and wanted nothing to do with it. It makes no difference to me. They could ask one of the stable hands to pin the dress together for all I care. I glance at the window, where each pane is clouded with frost, gleaming in the moonlight. My heart thumps, and I hope for a flicker of motion outside. Some sign that Asher has returned, that he's hiding in the shadows, waiting for me to be alone. If he were here, this wouldn't all be so terrifying. If he were here, I could beg him to help me escape. Another pin pricks my shoulder, and I stifle a yelp. "Surely we can light the hearth for a short while," I say. "The contingent from Incendar isn't due to arrive until dawn." The seamstress looks hopefully over my shoulder toward Charlotte, my first lady-in-waiting. "My lady, if the princess insists—" "No," Charlotte says to her firmly. "All flames were to be doused before dark. The precinct officers have been out for hours enforcing it all over Estranza. The king of Incendar must be within our borders by now, and there shall be no fire to draw his power, most definitely not in this room. Your father issued the order, and Prince Dane was very clear in delivering it." Well, my father isn't half naked and being treated like a pincushion, or I rather think his orders would be different. Then again, it's father's magic that's making it so cold. Another pin pokes me, and I bite my tongue and try not to jump. Charlotte draws close, coming into view. She's a bit older than I am, with mouse-brown hair that she always twists back into a knot, and very sharp features that make her seem closer to 40 than 30. She's been with me for years, but she's never quite been a friend. Dane has too many lackeys and spies in the palace for me to fully trust anyone on the staff. So my only true friend has been Asher. That said,
Sample complete. Ready to continue?